club is here, and they get to actually wave their signs anyway. But when it actually is Victory Monday, so that's a great thing. Thank you for being with us. Those of you who have come out to Sidecar Social at the Star in Frisco, we've got plenty of room. If you're within the sound of our voices, please come join us. Welcome if you're listening anywhere on the Dallas Cowboys radio network or streaming any day of the week and whatever room in your house you might be in on DallasCowboys.com. And momentarily, we will have the arrival of our very special guest, Eric Kendricks, the Cowboys' new middle linebacker. And, Nicole, that's a great way for us to start because the
as he walks in.
I think he just must have just walked in. So let's hear it for Eric Kendricks now, huh? Here we go. Welcome.
How you doing? Good.
Slip that headset on. Very good. I know you've done that before. Can you hear us?
I can hear you loud and clear.
And we can hear you now. Give Eric Kendricks an official welcome, will you please? Like the one he deserves.
What's up?
We were just dipping a toe into how great you guys were as a unit yesterday. You've got 10 years of experience in the league, most of it in this system or something like it. Did yesterday surprise you at all? Did you do better as a group than you expected to, or did that kind of meet what you thought?
I feel like that met what I thought, was possible. But at the same time, it's like we have a lot of stuff to clean up too. So the perfectionist in me is kind of like leaning on that. Obviously we had a good performance, and guys showed up, and the effort was there. The want to, the stopping the run, things like that. So there's a lot of good things that happened for sure. But reflecting on it earlier this morning, it's like we can be better. And that's what the standards got to be.
When you say you have things to clean up, what does that look like? Because you held this Browns offense to 1 first down, 54 yards the first half alone. Just
communication alone. I feel like the things went that way for us yesterday, but there's going to be some games down the line. It's inevitable. It's the NFL that are just like really close games, and in those close games, it comes down to the very small details, and that comes down to little things like communication that make things crystal clear, make everyone react a little bit faster, and get the plays done.
Those of you who did not play in any preseason games, tell me about how that impacts when you start for real, because in a sense it's kind of like preseason in terms of your body and your reactions and your instincts, except it counts. It can't be like preseason. So, and that's probably changed since you came in the league. How have you adapted to that?
Man, if you're a pro, if you're a pro and you want to be successful in this league, you prepare in practice. And obviously preseason is important, and especially for a lot of young guys and developing players that are getting it done. But there's a lot of us who didn't play, and obviously we have a lot of experience in our belt, and it comes down to what we lean on in the fundamentals of things in practice, and preparing that way to where we can be ready in the game.
Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
No.
How has your preparation for games changed over the years? This is year 11 for you, so how has it changed over the years, if it has changed at all?
No, it's definitely changed. I've learned a lot, obviously throughout the time, but like a game like this past week, it's like you can look at all the film you want of Cleveland and these first couple games that you play, and you could try to guess and see the things that you think they might do based on the film they put on, but they haven't put any film out for this year. So it's like these first couple games are just going to be, you relying on your fundamentals, playing fast, and using your instincts versus you knowing exactly what these teams are going to be, the tendencies of these teams. So it's like, that's something that I've learned. It's taking care of my body. That's something that I've had to learn, through college, and I've developed a great routine throughout the week and post game, and I just finished acupuncture before I came here, so I just learned all types of stuff about my body.
I want to get more into whatever you want to share with it about that routine a little bit later, but I want to follow up on Nicole's first question about when you say you go in and clean it up. I've been at this for a while, so you'll excuse me if I throw in a reference or two from decades gone by. The Cowboys used to have a receiver named Golden Richards, and he played for Tom Landry. They won a game once. Landry was notoriously tough in the film room on Monday. and they won a lot, and they won a game, I don't know, 28-10 or something like that. And we were in the locker room before the team meeting, and they made the announcement, and Golden Richards got up and said, "Well, excuse me, we're about to go into this film and lose 40-3." So, do you now you know Mike Zimmer as well as any of the players here? Is he that tough a grader? Is that kind of the way it is when you guys go into the films, when you talk about you've got a lot to clean up?
I mean, I think that it's just from a mindset standpoint, like just knowing that, even when we didn't communicate things like as well as we could have, and we went out there and we executed regardless, it was like, okay, even though we executed, we still have to, clean it up. So even with film, it's kind of like the same thing. Like you could recognize those kind of things, but still, reward, good things that we do too. So it's like, it's a balance, you know what I mean? The standard is always the standard. So, if you're messing up, it's going to be addressed, and then if you do things good, it'll be addressed as well.
Well, if you keep playing like you did yesterday, and especially in the second half, things got kind of sideways. They ran 48 plays in the second half yesterday. That's stupid. That doesn't happen. But if you keep playing well, will the standard raise?
I think inevitably, right? I think that this was the first game, and we still have a lot more to learn about each other. I'm new to this team, and obviously, last year's team is last year's team, but it's a whole new roster this year. It's always a new roster to start the year, so we're still learning a lot about each other as a team, as a new team, this new team, but we still, we know what we got.
What is Mike Zimmer's standard for you guys as a defense?
I think that's just like, good defense is just, it's mandatory, It's just like, that's what we want, We want to get off on third down. We want to stop the run. That's what makes it fun. So, we should each have that standard.
The run defense part, in the last 2 years, really, in December, for a variety of reasons, some of it's injuries, which nobody can help, but the run defense has not been what it needed to be, especially in the late stage of the regular season. So explain to people a little bit, please, about what are the fundamentals of run defense? Why is that something that if a team is coordinated, hopefully everybody can do?
It's just it makes it a certain, when you eliminate that from the game, it just makes the game more predictable, and you can do the things that you want to do to disrupt the quarterback, But at the same time, run defense is fundamental, I'm not too sure what you asked at first, but all I know is stopping the run is like, how do I explain?
We're here for an hour, so take all the time.
No, there's some times where it's like you stop the run and it's obvious, but there's sometimes where it's a dogfight, and it's like, yeah, when times are good and you know what good defense is supposed to look like, but you still have to bring that same tenacity and that same want to stop the run, even in the games where it's the hardest to stop the run, and that's the difference between making that stop in the fourth quarter when your back's against the wall and not, and that's the idea. Even though things were favorable yesterday, if some point we get our backs against the wall, we still have to make that commitment every single down to stop it.
Speaking of stopping the run, how much has bringing in guys like Linval Joseph, Jordan Phillips, that interior defensive line helped you guys really play more freely?
Yeah, I feel like those guys are just unselfish teammates, and they just want to play good defense, man. They just want to do their job, play their role, and win.
Yeah, Phillips is a fascinating guy to me. He's built like a nose tackle, but he's a three technique. He plays the same position Osa Odigizua does. In his first day in training camp, he told reporters, he said, "Look, I don't. My statistics are when my linebackers make tackles." And when you have two guys, I looked up one time yesterday, and there they both were, Joseph and Phillips, next to each other. Is that a little bit of a comforting sight for a linebacker?
Yeah, absolutely. I played with Linval for X amount of years, and obviously, I feel like Phillips, we have the same kind of mindset when it comes to football. So it's been refreshing to be around him. This is obviously my first time being on the team with him, but I'm looking forward to playing more with these guys.
Well, I'm looking forward to Cowboy fans getting to know you a little bit. Eric Kendricks is one of the smartest and most engaging players the Cowboys have been able to bring in a long, long time, and his zest for the game just flies out of him. It's so obvious to see. So we're looking forward to all of you getting a chance to know Eric a little bit better as we continue this evening with the Cowboys Hour. You want to do one of those going in?
Oh, of course. This segment is brought to you by Albertsons. When it comes time to shop for tailgate favorites, go to Albertsons and Tom Thumb. Get 10% off your groceries every Dallas Cowboys game day when you wear your Cowboys jersey. Albertsons and Tom Thumb, the official supermarket and pharmacy of the Dallas Cowboys.
We are with Eric Kendricks on the Cowboys Hour at Sidecar Social in Frisco, and we'll be right back.
To the Miller Lite Cowboys Hour, supported by Albertsons, and broadcasting live from Sidecar Social at the Star in Frisco.
Welcome back, everybody. Brad Sham along with Nicole Hutchison, our very special guest this evening. It's Eric Kendricks, the Cowboys middle linebacker. I want to talk more, a little bit more about yesterday's game, a lot more about the rest of the defense, but I want people to get to know you a little bit first. Three-sport star in high school, and apparently you were a pretty good baseball player.
I played shortstop in my senior year in baseball, and I was the leadoff hitter.
And you were on a championship team, right?
No, not for baseball.
No?
No.
Okay. But you were the shortstop and leadoff hitter.
Shortstop and leadoff hitter. I really enjoyed it. I mean, honestly, I feel like I put the least amount of time into baseball, but it came the most natural for me.
Did you get recruited by anybody to play baseball in college?
So my senior year, I started having people come watch my batting practice, like pro teams, and I started like hitting with wooden bats during like when they watched me hit. But at that time, I was already committed to go play football at UCLA, and my brother, I think, just won the Pac-12 Defensive Player of the Year.
Right, that's Michael Kendricks. We'll talk more about him.
So I was kind of like, you could try to get me to play baseball, but like I'm pretty sure I'm going to be playing football.
Did anybody whisper in your ear, you can play twice as long at baseball. Nobody runs into you and knocks you down on purpose.
Yeah, but baseball's boring. It's like
okay.
It's like it's just like the thing about I love baseball, and it takes a lot of skill to play baseball, and it's fun when you're hitting and doing getting the ball at shortstop, but like playing football and then playing baseball, it was like you put so much more effort and like there's so much more heart and so much more team into football, and it's like when you win together, it's more glorious, and when you lose together, it like hurts more. You know what I mean? And it was like baseball never gave me that kind of feeling.
Right.
It was just kind of like a bunch of people who were on different pages and didn't really care as much as you did. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna play football.
And you were a shortstop. You could have never played right field, for crying out loud. You'd have never.
I probably would have been an outfielder if I kept playing. Probably. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So it sounds to me like, and then I look at your college career. By the way, as a senior, correct me if I'm wrong, this is the winner of the Butkus Award as the best linebacker in the country as a senior. And for those of you who don't know, the Butkus Award is named for Dick Butkus. Did you ever get to meet him?
I did. One of my favorite things about that whole experience was the fact that they presented you the trophy in person. And I knew the day that they were announcing, and I knew that I was a top 3 finalist, but I didn't really know how the award was presented. And we had a workout with my team. It was like between the end of the season and the bowl week. So it was kind of like a lighter practice, but we all met up on the field. We went through individual drills and ran around and stuff like that. And then at the end of the practice, our coaches called us up in a huddle, and he was just like, I have someone that I want you guys to meet. And they opened the gate, and Butkus came onto the field, and they presented me with the trophy right then and there. And it was like a wave of emotions because I was with my teammates, and it was like, I didn't really know what to expect, and I worked really hard for that. So it was like, it was a really cool way for them to present me in person, and I'll never forget that.
Be honest. So we're talking about 11 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know who Dick Butkus was when you started playing college football?
Absolutely, absolutely. Especially being a linebacker. That's one of the Bears' great. It's like. And Mike Singletary, you have Brian Urlacher, you have Ray Lewis, you have Patrick Willis, Derek Brooks. I know the guys I'm supposed to know. I maybe left a couple out there, but I know who Dick Butkus is for sure.
So the reason I'm asking, and this is where I was kind of going with this, the more I listen to you talk, the more I watch you play, watch you through the years. I've told you this. I've loved watching you play for all these years. Some people are born, I think, to the positions that they play. I mean, you were created to be a linebacker, and especially a middle linebacker, because it seems to me, tell me if I'm wrong, you embrace the leadership role. You want to help get everybody lined up so that they can all play freely and aggressively.
I think that it's something that I've obviously had to develop. I feel like one of the best things that had happened to me, which was also one of the worst things, was one of my former teammates, Patrick Larimore at UCLA, had to medically retire due to concussions, and this is in college, and it was a big deal. And obviously his career was cut short, but it propelled me from going from Will to Mike. And I always played Mike, Pop Warner, high school, but in college I kind of, was on that, taking that, the Will role, and I didn't really have much of a voice on the defense. So when Patrick Larimore got out, it pushed me to the middle, and it made me, have to be uncomfortable with all these new responsibilities. But, I come to, become addicted to it.
Who was your football idol growing up, or even when you got to college? Who was somebody that you studied the most?
Do not say Michael Kendricks.
It was for sure. First of all, it's 100% my brother.
Wow.
100%.
All right, then talk about him.
My brother was just like the trailblazer. When they say that he couldn't do it, and when he proved them wrong, it just like gave me that much more confidence to go ahead and do it myself. And absolutely, I learned from him. It was like he was going through everything I was going through 1 or 2 years right in front of me. So I was able to see his mistakes, see his triumphs, and just like follow suit. So for sure, my brother. But I remember we watched a lot of San Francisco film of Patrick Willis and Navarro Bowman, and when I was in college. So I would say that those are the people I studied the most, just because we kind of try to run some of the same defense that San Francisco was running.
And when you talk about the leadership role that you had to kind of learn, who helped you learn that and kind of make sure that was something important to you?
So Jeff Ulbrich was my first college linebacker coach with my new regime as I was a middle linebacker, and Jeff Ulbrich played a bunch of years in the league with San Francisco, and now he's the defensive coordinator for the Jets. So he definitely knows football, and he definitely knows what it takes to be a linebacker. So he definitely was a heavy influence on a big foundation of mine. I like to thank all my coaches, but at the same time, I feel like a lot of this stuff has been learned in the fire too.
Yeah.
Michael was 2 years ahead of you?
My brother was 2 or 3. I'm not too sure.
I remember watching him play, and then you came into the league, and I remember thinking to myself, how the hell many of these guys are there, for crying out loud? Because you had similar styles,
yeah,
right?
we do. We're kind of just like sneaky. Like I don't know how to explain it. We both grew up playing all sports, skateboarding and snowboarding and doing that kind of stuff. So I feel like it definitely influences our style a little bit, but I don't know.
All right, well, speaking of sneaky, and I've said this to you before, I remember, when fans are not familiar with a player, he's a 10-year veteran, he's 32. Okay, how much has he got left? But he knows the system, he'll be good for that. And I saw Michael, I knew I'd do that. I saw Eric in a minicamp practice. And so there's no pads, there's no tackling. But he ran about 15 yards in the bat of an eyelash and knocked down a pass that he had no business getting anywhere near. And I thought, look at that. He can still do that. And it's so instinctive. And the more we watch of you, the more we see it. Does you get your back up when people say, where'd that come from? Or do you have...
I'm like, where's it gone? Like, what do you mean, where has it come from? It hasn't left, but at the same time, I take such good care of my body. And I think that's what people have a common misconception of, like, players now. I seen Patrick Peterson have the best season I've ever seen out of any corner, and just casually just get overlooked. My last year with him in Minnesota, and it was just because he was getting up there in age. But if you look at the year he had, it was incredible.
Yeah.
But Patrick Peterson takes care of his body. He does things right. He changed the way he's played, and he's developed with the game as it's went along. And, those are some of the guys that I've looked up to and have learned from as I've gotten in the league.
All right.
Also, there's the guys who used to play, I feel like they didn't take care of their bodies as well as we do now.
Well, that's exactly right. Have you ever talked to any of them?
Yeah,
about
they're all psychos. Their routine is like it wouldn't even work now.
Well, what was it, and how has yours evolved over 10 years?
I just you just find stuff that works for you, and a lot of it's body work, a lot of it's these wonderful people that have come into my life and helped me throughout the season to be the player that I am.
You clearly still got the juice, right?
Juice.
And something that you mentioned when you signed here with the Cowboys.
We mean that in a good legal way.
Yeah. This off season was that you still have something to prove.
Mm-hmm.
What does that look like?
I don't know. I'm just it's more of a me versus me thing. I just want to prove it to myself. First and foremost. I love this game. It's fun to me. So. If it's not for me, then who am I doing it for?
Yeah.
So I think that's the main thing.
Who were the Vikings linebackers when you were drafted? Second round pick.
It was Chad Greenway. It was Anthony Barr. It was Audie Cole. It was Mahdi. It was Edmund Robinson, and I think there was one more.
And Barr was here a couple of years ago.
Yep.
Had a year here. And Greenway, what I remember of Greenway, especially later in his career, he was so smart that if he lost anything physically, he made up for it by anticipation and understanding the game. Am I remembering right?
No, definitely. I mean, I tell people all the time, I think that when I go back and look at my rookie film, I'm moving around so fast, like left and right, this and there. But it's like these are all sometimes wasted movements. You know what I mean?
Like, did you know where you were going?
I was just like frantic. Where am I going? Where am I going? Oh, I'm gonna run this way. And it was like, now it's just much more of a calm approach, and it's like now I'm much more efficient.
All right, we're going to follow up on that and get your opinion of some of your young teammates. We are delighted to have Eric Kendricks with us. The Cowboys middle linebacker is on the Cowboys Hour at Sidecar Social in Frisco. We'll be right back.
Go Cowboys! To the Miller Lite Cowboys Hour, supported by Albertsons, and broadcasting live from Sidecar Social at the Star in Frisco.
Welcome back. Welcome back to the Cowboys Hour with our special guest, Eric Kendricks, the Cowboys middle linebacker. I'm Brad Sham with Nicole Hutchison. We'll have some of your questions for Eric a little bit later in the show. First, with my apologies, I got to make a personal observation. You have got the best head of hair I have seen in the longest damn time. That is, I don't know.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, seriously. I mean, I've still got a little bit of hair, but I mean, that's a great head of hair. What do you do to maintain that?
Wow, it's funny you ask because I have my own hair product and it's called Switch Lanes.
Yep.
Do you sell it?
It's
Let's sell it. Come on, let's do a commercial.
It's a curl cream, and guess what? I use it on my day-to-day, and that's what I use in my hair. I have an active lifestyle, and it's a product fit for my lifestyle.
And
Fun fact, I actually have it in my hair right now.
do you really?
Yeah.
Did you write that yourself?
I did.
Active lifestyle and.
I mean, this is true. It's true. All of it's true. I created it for myself, but obviously with the intent to sell.
And where do people buy it?
They buy it on switchlanes.us.
Switchlanes.us. All right, there you go.
Nice plug.
We did not arrange that in advance.
Nice
I had
plug.
no idea. I had no idea.
Love it.
All right, so you've talked a couple times about the way you take care of yourself. Talk, please, about the way, whatever your physical regimen was when you came into the league and how it's evolved to whatever it is today.
So when I first got in the league, I would get 2 massages. So I would get one on Tuesdays, and then I would get one on Fridays. And I would see a doctor like probably once a week to like pop my ankles, adjust my ankles, like make sure I'm aligned, that kind of stuff. And then it went from that to where I'm at kind of now, and it's kind of like now I'm getting 2 to 3 massages a week. I got just like I said, I just saw my acupuncturist. I'll see my acupuncturist again before the game. What else? I go to Pilates every Tuesday. I drive out, like 40 minutes to see a chiropractor. So I'll be doing that every Tuesday.
I hope that's Dr. Fred Casper.
And then I've just nutrition and everything has just completely changed.
And
like what I eat.
Yeah. So what you used to eat that you don't eat now?
Oh shoot! I mean,
You better not say fried foods because I heard you order French fries.
yeah, French fries. Yeah, French fries are potatoes though. But I wouldn't order anything that would be like like fried chicken with like wheat on the outside of it. So
Okay.
I try to cut that out a little bit.
Gluten? You like your?
Yeah. I try to do that. It's mainly just eating good.
How much of this regimen do you kind of tell the younger guys in this defense to kind of help the importance of taking care of your body?
Oh, for sure. I mean, I think that you look around at all the guys who have been playing a long time, and there's no question why they play. They take care of their bodies, and there's a couple of freaks out there, but the NFL will always harness those guys. At the same time, you're going to be banged up. This is a physical game, so you got to take care of yourself.
Excuse me, I'm
You're
just
fine.
reeling at the fact that I brought up his hair and you've got the product in your hair
Yeah.
and you did not give him a plug.
Sorry.
Wow.
You know what? Make sure to go check out Switch Lanes. It's amazing. It works great on my hair. The curls are popping all the time, so make sure to go check it out.
Wow, thanks.
There we go.
Because that's a plug I'm not going to be able to give him. I'm not going
We
to be
had
able
to
to help
switch
him with
gears,
that.
so I didn't want to.
No. I mean, I'm just still kind of reeling at that. All right, let's talk about some of your young teammates. You've got a couple of guys. Obviously, I think everybody's eyes immediately are attracted to number 13. We saw a lot of that yesterday. But you've got some young teammates, and I'd love to hear your thoughts about how they are progressing and what you see as their potential and what you do to mentor them.
Man, I just try to be myself. I don't try to do too much. When I get questions, I'll always give them answers. I'm an open book to them. I hope they know that. Anything they want from me or need from me, I'll be there to talk with them or anything. I'm never trying to hold anything back from them, to put myself up. It's never like that. It's like anything I got, you could have, So, I hope they know that first and foremost. But, they're inspiring me. I'm seeing their effort, especially, on tape and, in practice. And it's getting me more motivated, to match their level, match their level my 10th year in the league, So it's been great to be around. And we have a lot of young guys, but a lot of really good talent in our room.
What stands out the most about a guy like Maris Liufau?
Man, just how, he just knows it. He knows his role, and he's going to be, maximizing, just playing. He's smart. He understands it. He, is never going to do too much. Is never going to do too little by any means. But, he knows right where he's supposed to be at, and he's just working to be better every day. And you got to love it.
I love that.
A little bit along the same line of Damone Clark, because he obviously had injuries at LSU, but everybody saw the player that he was, and his positional role has kind of evolved in the couple of years since he's been here. He seems to be in a position now that suits him a little bit better. What have you talked with him about? What do you see when you look at him?
Man, I just, what I just talked to him about is just like, just controlling the controllables. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, this game is a crazy one, and he has a talent, he has a skill, and he has a mindset to be in this league. So it's just about doing it every day, day in and day out, and just trusting the process.
All right, I saved Overshone because people around here who watched him play at Texas thought, knew what he was. But yesterday, I mean, he and Micah Parsons are kind of in the same rough general area, and he beat Parsons to the quarterback. And, we're not used to seeing people beat Micah. Micah's so fast. What is there about Overshone that is different than other guys?
That speed is crazy. I mean, his stride is insane. But the effort, just looking back at my career, and even just to get to college, the things that got me to college was just being around the ball. You know what I mean, and building those habits of just running to the ball, and being physical, and it's gonna pay off.
A little fun stat: the play that you're talking about, the sack on Watson, he covered 14 yards in 2.5 seconds. Pretty sick. Just saying.
That's fast.
That's fast.
Say that again, because I saw that today. I saw you tweeted that. I thought, wait.
Covered
Wait a minute.
14 yards in 2.5 seconds. I think that's.
Go home and try that later. Mark out 14 yards and see how far you can get in 2.5 seconds.
But when you had a chance to look back at the film of the linebacker play last year, and of course it was a little different circumstances, but would you say that speed separates this 2024 linebacker core from the rest of the NFL?
I mean, I honestly don't know. I didn't even look at this.
Oh.
I mean, I've seen some stuff, but
Yeah.
I don't know if speed was what we're trying to go for. We're just trying to be the best we can be and do our job and help our teammates along the way. So we can all be our best.
Okay.
All right. If this is a sensitive area, say next question. A couple of times I've heard people try to ask you about you because you were ticketed to go to San Francisco. Everybody thought you were going to San Francisco, and then you wound up here. And what I've heard you say about it is this was the opportunity to wear the green dot, be the middle linebacker, be the boss out there. Is there any other part of the story about why you came here instead of going there? And thank you for doing that, by the way.
No, I mean, to be honest, that was it. It was a hard decision for me. One of the hardest I've ever had to make.
I mean, what did they want you to do?
I mean, it was just, obviously Fred is their middle linebacker, so it was just like I was going to be playing, alongside of him, and it's over with now. So I'm ready to close the book on it.
I
what
understand.
I
I understand.
I've had to answer questions about it, and it is what it is. Obviously I made the decision, but I'm ready to just get, just grounded here.
So that I'm circling back to something we talked about before, but that leadership, the ability to be in charge, get guys in place, that sounds like it's something you have grown into through the years that you now feel is a real part of your football identity.
I love it, and I feel like this defense is just so much fun.
Something that I remember this in training camp is that a lot of the guys were sitting in on Mike Zimmer's meetings. Trayvon Diggs, Michael Parsons did it. Do you do that as well? Like coaching meetings? Or have you done that in the past since you have played under him?
I feel like we have so much communication at all times. So it's like, things that need to be communicated always end up going through me. So, I would like to think that line is always open.
With the guys that do sit in those meetings, have you seen that kind of help them as far as their game?
I mean, I feel like one thing I got from being with them early on was that I learned more football than I had ever known. So, like, hopefully these guys are getting that same type of game every week.
Has he mellowed?
Yeah, I mean, he's always going to be the same fiery Mike, but I feel like we're all just living and learning and getting advancing and getting smarter, stronger.
He said today that some guys, he didn't say who, but he said some guys came up to him after the game and said, and I know this would not have been you because you already know the answer, but a couple of guys came up to him and said, "Coach, is that how you're going to be calling games?" And he said, "Yeah, pretty much. Why, did you not like it?" And they said, no, it was good. We just want to kind of know what to expect.
Yeah, shoot, like I said, it's going to be a long year, man. We're going to be learning a lot together, and we got to just stay together.
When you first heard the theme Rooted for this team heading into this year. What was your thoughts on that theme?
I mean, it's just like, it just feels strong. I feel strong, you know what I mean? So, like, you know, there's going to be, you know, growing that needs to be done, you know, with that. Rooted and growing, you know what I mean? I try to kind of keep it, like, cohesive, but it's going to be fun.
Okay.
Well, yesterday was fun. Yesterday was a lot of fun to watch.
It was.
Yeah, good defense is just always fun to watch. And yours seems to be fun to watch in a way that's a little bit different because a lot of people around who watch professional football, they think fun is seeing 4 guys up front dominate, get in the backfield, and get a bunch of sacks. You had 2 yesterday. There's a lot of ways to control the tempo of a football game. Mm-hmm. But yours seems to me to be like from a front to back kind of deal.
It's just like it'll always change depending on who we're playing. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I was trying to tell everybody. I'm like, man, there's no better feeling than playing good defense because it doesn't matter who's is getting stats. Yeah, yesterday, you know, I had a good day. But maybe there's going to be some times where I'm forced to, you know, cover and, you know, chase things down and not really receive the credit. But, you know, maybe I'll propel somebody else to have success. And, you know, as long as we're winning, as long as we're playing good defense, I do not care. And that's how it has to be because that's when it's the most fun.
Although you did keep the interception ball, right?
I did. That was my first one with the star on my helmet.
All right, there you go. Eric Kendricks, the Cowboys middle linebacker, is our guest. Your questions for Eric when we come back. We are at Sidecar Social in Frisco on the Cowboys Hour, and
this segment is brought to you by Lucchese. Stand tall while you're tailgating or cheering in the stands with the Dallas Cowboys collection by Lucchese. Shop the collection today at Lucchese's 6 DFW locations or online at lucchese.com. Lucchese, the official boot of the Dallas Cowboys and Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders.
We'll be right back.
There is less.
the Miller Lite Cowboys Hour, supported by Albertsons and broadcasting live from Sidecar Social at the Star in Frisco.
On Victory Monday, the Cowboys having beaten the Cleveland Browns yesterday
Sorry.
in the season opener. And I'm Brad Sham along with Nicole Hutchison, our very special guest, Eric Kendricks, the Cowboys middle linebacker. Mike McCarthy, you have no frame of reference for this particular thing, but Mike McCarthy changed the game day schedule on the road because the road record wasn't what everybody wanted it to be last year. I've said a couple of times, I've never seen the road beat anybody, but it can get in people's heads. So how, that being the case, how big a deal is getting a road win to start the year?
Huge.
Move that mic a little closer to you. Thank you.
It's huge. I mean, obviously, just getting a win in the NFL is so hard to come by. So one on the road, hostile environment. It's the matter of traveling and all the extra stuff you have to do. But in the same breath, there's nothing better than winning a road game. That's like some of the best feelings I've had in football.
When the fans are booing the home team, and then in the third quarter everybody's leaving, as the visiting player who's causing that to happen,
it's amazing. It's like it's like a cherry on top. Yeah, it's like I don't know how to explain it. It's like.
So you weren't that kid that took people's lunch money and their sister's bike and that kind of thing.
No,
right?
but I mean, in the same breath, when you go to an away game, you want to ruin some people's day. You want to make some people mad.
This was your first time actually playing in the Brown Stadium. So what was that atmosphere like for you?
Honestly, it was great. Like I said, I actually love away games. I love being in a hostile environment, but. It was a really cool stadium, a lot bigger than I thought. Held a lot of fans. I know Cleveland has a great fan base, so it was a lot of fun.
And what have your experiences been as a visiting player at AT&T Stadium?
It's been great. I feel like I came here for the first time when I was in college, actually, and we beat UT. So, and I was in AT&T. So I don't know if anybody remembers that or is a UT fan, but hey, go Bruins.
Well, if the Texas fans aren't going to admit it. Have you played many here in the NFL?
I played. I think I played a preseason game, and then I played. I played another game here. Yeah, I played Sunday night game.
Okay.
A lot of fun.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see the reaction on Sunday. We'll ask you about it again. Let's get some questions from our audience.
Hey, Eric, my name is Corey. Being like the middle linebacker, when you're watching film, are there certain things that you look for that the offense may give away, or maybe the O-line that you feel like can be like an advantage for the defense that you can help out as well as get everybody in the right place, or you can kind of see what's coming?
I think that it's a fine line between trying to guess things that are happening, but yeah, there's a lot of tendencies you can look at. I feel like some are more obvious than others, but you definitely don't want to cloud your mind with certain tendencies that aren't going to mean anything. You know what I mean? So if something is is important, but I need to just react to it, I'm going to rely on that versus a cut split by the wide receiver. I need to know if a team has a cut split, like this past weekend, if he's going to come shallow or not, because that directly affects my job. So I better be looking at that kind of stuff on film. You know what I mean?
How long does it take you to learn the window dressing that a lot of offenses put out there? They show you a lot of stuff that winds up not meaning anything. They're just trying to convince you not to be where you want to be. How long does it take to learn how to study for that?
I mean, it's just there's so much always, and you're always going to see a little bit of unscouted looks too. So it's based on reaction and just muscle memory. But especially when you're in the middle, it's a lot of counting going on, a lot of people going left and right in front of you. So you have to your count changes, and if you're in split coverage, that's when it kind of gets a little bit tricky. But I've been playing linebacker for middle linebacker for a while now, so I really feel comfortable.
Oh, I don't know if we had another fan or not. I'm sorry.
Oh, we do.
Oh.
Thank you very much. We didn't when I looked over there before.
Hi, Larry from McKinney, Texas. The name come across to you familiar as Robert Rodriguez. Can you tell me how much you know about him, and was he really tough with you all?
Who's Robert Rodriguez?
Robert Rodriguez, He was the assistant defensive line coach with Minnesota.
Okay, I'm gonna check him out. How do you know him? That was like a very specific question. I'm like, wait, who? I'm like, Robert from where?
A little random, and it
I'm
caught
like,
you off
I thought he was
guard.
talking about Robert from here. Yeah, he was with Dre Patterson, and they always would
And
teach
Dre
me,
was
yeah,
here.
Yeah, they would always teach me hand moves and stuff when I would go over there during special teams. So I had a good relationship, and we had a good run.
Okay. Yes, he was. His dad and I were coworkers
Okay,
back in El Paso.
awesome.
And what did you learn from Andre? Loved Andre.
Andre, I mean, a lot of my steps, as far as being in the split and things like that, when you do get on a running back quick or something like that, we worked on that a lot with him.
What's something that you've learned from Al Harris? Because I've kind of peeped how you spend a lot of time during practice just getting coached up, or whether it's having conversations with him. What's it been like?
I mean, if it's anything I've known from, like I said, I was on different teams, and I was an outsider looking in until this year. But if anything I learned from being on the outside looking in to the Cowboys, is the fact that, him and his little crew of guys, they know how to get the rock. You know what I mean? So like, I think as soon as I got here, I kind of just was gravitating towards him in my free time. With Bland and Trey, and doing ball drills and stuff pre-practice and things like that. I think that it's only going to help me.
And Trayvon Diggs getting the other interception.
Yeah, I mean, like that's what I'm saying. Like these boys, I know. I don't know. Trey has a lot of picks. I don't even I always knew that from outsider. Like, man, he has a lot. So I'm like, if I can hang out with him and see how it happens, hopefully that rubs off a little bit on me. It will.
Well, what do you think is Al's secret sauce?
I don't know. I think that that's something that when you got the sauce, you just have it. It's just
Can't give away the recipe.
I don't even. Yeah, it's just like it's not. He's not trying to do much. It's just it is.
All right, so your interception yesterday, fascinating play, an instinct play, because it's like you and Micah were playing volleyball. He went up, two-hand tipped it. He would I don't think he's got an interception yet. He's got fumble recoveries.
we talked about that. I think he's gonna get one.
Oh,
interception good coverage.
What did he say? You got my interception?
No. But that play was cool because it was like the lineman could either block one of us, and he kind of came down to block me. So as soon as he did that, I knew Micah was free. So I kind of started peeling back to maybe I thought the ball would be released. So I was just kind of peeling back to maybe run to the ball or just turn around and see what was kind of happening. And it was just boop right there, and it was kind of I just peeled right back into it.
The ability for Zitmer to place Micah anywhere, right? How much do y'all feel like y'all have an advantage when it comes to taking on other offenses?
I mean, it's just we work for that advantage. You know what I mean? It's not like it's easy because Micah has to now learn all these different positions and different blitzes, different coverages, and different everything in between and alignments. And it's just that if that's what we're gonna do, that's how we have to progress. Like I said, when we talk about standard, we got to just get better and evolve at that as well.
Let's. We got just a couple of minutes left. Let's give people a little more of a peek into your life. You talked about on Tuesday you'll do Pilates and you'll do acupuncture a couple times a week. When you're relaxing and you're trying to get away from football, what are you doing?
I usually do a lot of stuff with cars. Cars and food are the common theme. Me and my wifey, we like to go out to eat a lot.
93 Mustang,
yeah.
right? I remember you
I
told
do,
me that.
yeah, I do. So I love cars. Big car guy. Even washing my cars, I enjoy.
How many do you have?
I have 5.
And what are they? What do you have?
I have I'll just tell you about one.
Oh.
One of my favorite cars that I have right now. That I've been
Well, now
really
I
enjoying.
want to know about the other 4.
I know,
all right.
but I can go on and on about it. But I have a R34 GTR. It's from Japan, and it's a lot of fun to drive. It makes all the turbo sounds, and it just gives me all this nostalgia. And that's what that's one of the dream cars I really thought about as a kid. I'm gonna grow up. I'm gonna go to UCLA. I'm gonna make it to the NFL, and I'm gonna buy this car. I'm not even playing. I was in the Raptors somewhere.
How long ago did you buy that car?
I bought it 3 or 4 years ago, but it just got imported this past year.
Do you drive all 5 of them?
Yeah, I do.
How do you decide when to drive which one?
It's kind of a feeling. It's a little bit of a feeling. What kind of music I want to listen to? What's the weather like?
So you listen to certain kinds of music in certain of the cars?
For sure.
What music do you listen in that car?
in the GTR, I don't listen to any music in the GTR because it has a Japanese radio on it, and I don't want to swap it out. So it's like all the radio stations are kind of jacked up, and the turbo sound is so good in it that I don't listen to the radio. And when I'm in my Mustang, I listen to all old schools. I listen to all old school songs, and then when I'm in my my Porsche, it's like always upbeat, rap, because I feel like that's my like race car type thing.
Okay.
And now you know a little bit more about Eric Kendricks. And you said you are foodies. I got 30 seconds. Do you cook also?
Yes.
You do? Yeah.
We do.
You cook together?
Yes, we do.
This is a fascinating man. He's a Renaissance man. Thank Eric Kendricks for being with us tonight on the Cowboys Hour. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
And we will be back next Monday right here at Sidecar Social. Hopefully another Victory Monday on the Cowboys Hour.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.